No.
No? Oh. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Working now?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, guys. So welcome to the Consultancy Space for the MC in France 1819. So just to let you know about the Consultancy Spaces, we just had a space for custom experience for youth with Booba. The moment I'm going to deliver the one for talent management. Afterwards, today there will be finance and digital marketing. And tomorrow is going to be about ODPD, customer experience for partners, and myself. So as I was explaining to Matthias, the last space tomorrow is more if you guys want to discuss about the vision that I have for next year, more about strategy and structure of the MC team with the job description of the diverse positions. Okay, so this space is mostly focused on talent management, as I am the current MCVP talent management. Few disclaimers about this space. So what I'm going to say is obviously a bit more important than the slides because I'm going to add specific comments. It would be best, I believe, if you guys can write down your questions because there's a space at the end for the Q&A. And as I was just saying, if you have specific questions about JD and so on and so forth, it's better for the space tomorrow. Okay? So, a bit of history regarding talent management. So during the term 15-16, not that much has been done because the MCVP talent management was also MCVP finance. So it was not that easy to focus on developing TM. But what the MCVP TM managed to do mainly was proper checklist for education. So sort of pre-national education cycle. She also created nice interview grid for recruitment to guide the members in what they should be looking for as profiles for the candidates for the recruitment, and a good awareness about the team minimums back then. Last year, I would say that TM was also a little bit fragile because we lost the MCVP TM in end of October, beginning of November. And then we only had a new MCVP TM end of January. So there was like no proper consistency in talent management. But the two MCVPs TM still managed to deliver proper education about recruitment, increase awareness about team standards, and create planning tool for the EB that was really focused and taking into consideration the culture of the EBs, not only planning the numbers, the numerical goals and stuff like that for operations, but also really focusing on how to develop a culture within their EBs. Okay? So regarding this year in talent management, my focus for the first semester was the team standards, people analytics, ISEC Hub, national education cycle, and we're also part of a talent attraction and selection project of the roadmap ISEC 2020. So regarding the team standards, what I did was to create a challenge for them to get educated on the team standards, know how to practically deliver the team standards in their teams. And I delivered also like 3 webinars to educate them. I created tools to implement the team standards. It was half a success, I would say, because I did not manage to engage the 21 LCs, but the ones that were engaged did delivered a really good job. Regarding the people analytics, so I created a tool that was creating a national HR database for the entity, on which you can find how many members you have, TMTLs for which area, if they've been on exchange, yes or no, for which product, what year, if they took LDA, if they got inducted, and so on and so forth. So it's very complete. The challenge with this tool is that if we want the tool to be as accurate as possible, it should be updated every month. And it's starting to be in the culture for the VPs to feel it, but it's still not automatic. Okay? And in this tool, in the people analytics tool, I also created a performance management system for the members, where during each one-to-one, the team leader should assess the performance and the development of the members from 1 to 3. And if you know a little bit about performance management, technically these scores allow you to put the members in a matrix that tell you if this member needs to have more trainings about education to increase his performance, or more educational trainings to improve his development. Okay? Regarding the ISEC Hub, I managed to create the folders and upload as many resources as possible in the ISEC community category. And now the members are also starting to really use it, because we decided to shut down the drive where we were having all our national documents and resources. And all the resources that I added on the national education cycle have to be on the ISEC Hub. So the members have a very high incentive to use the ISEC Hub, okay? But in the implementation, we're still 0% of implementation regarding the ISEC International checklist. Why? Simply because the task take a long time to do. They also require proofs. And at the beginning, I really wanted to fill the checklist, but it was taking a lot of time and it was not part of my priorities. But it doesn't mean that we're not using the ISEC Hub. We are. Regarding the national education cycle, so I created it from scratch this year. There was none before in ISEC France. So I have one tab per area, and basically it's divided per topics, per global learning environments. As I was saying, all the resources that are in the tool loaded on the ISEC Hub, and there's also a timeline of implementation. Regarding the talent attraction and selection project, as I was saying, it's a non-foundational project we're taking part in. We applied for this project last year at IFC, and we started to work on this project in October. So as MCVPTM, I was running the project. We were super engaged in it. It allowed us to have like some really cool materials for the recruitment of this semester. Excuse me. Really cool materials for the recruitment of this semester. It also allowed us to create the value proposition of the membership for the recruitment. In overall, I think it was a very interesting project, and we're still taking part of this project for the upcoming semester. So for the second semester, I refreshed all the recruitment processes. I did a few webinars for the VP's TM with booklets and tools. They're all uploaded on the ISEC Hub and the National Education Cycle. I believe that it allowed the the VPs to upgrade the quality of their recruitment in terms of professionalism, in terms of organization. I also created induction timelines. So I did a spreadsheet with all the processes of the induction to organize an induction that is very complete in terms of ISEC general knowledge and functional knowledge for the afternoon. And also created all the PPTs, all the tools that were needed. And my focus for the rest of the semester is going to be on team leader capacity building, because in France we still don't have a very strong culture of team leaders, and it's very important that we develop this middle management system to empower more our members and to make sure that the VPs are more focused on the strategy rather than doing team management. Okay, so the two things I want to develop in this topic is to add a space really in the national education cycle only for the education of team leaders. And I want also to create a culture of team leaders in the entity. Okay, so regarding the achievements of my term so far, I managed to start to create an education about team leaders capacity building in the entity. We are having an upcoming conference next week with the VP's TM, and this is going to be the whole focus of the TM track, the team leader capacity building. At the beginning of the year, nobody had a clue about the ISEC Hub. Now, I would say 70 to 80% of the membership is using the ISEC Hub. I also managed to create awareness about performance management. Not everybody is using it, but at least they know about it and they know how to use it if needed. And lastly, compared to last year, like a lot more teams are implementing the team standards. Regarding the challenges of this year, the problem with the recruitment is that the VP's TM are expecting way too much support from the digital attraction, digital marketing. We are supporting, but it is not enough to attract people for recruitment. They also need to do offline recruitment, offline attraction. And this was not completely understood by the VPs. So this was a challenge, and this affected a little bit our recruitment process for the second semester. The shift of the resources on the ISEC Hub was also a little bit slow, I found. It's not always easy to engage all the commission in the national project. It's a real challenge because we have 21 local committees, so it's really hard to engage everybody. And there is, now it's getting better, but there was a big misconception about talent management till now. Meaning that people think that, well, not now anymore, but they thought that talent management was only to have to organize LCMs, to organize bondings, and they were not really seeing all the development of the members, how TM can boost performance and operations. And lastly, achievement and also challenge was the creation of a steering team for the Talent Management Commission. So it was an achievement because it has never been done before, but it was a challenge because it did not last until the end. I had 3 people with me, and they could not find time for the steering team anymore. So we had to end the experience. But I think that in overall, this was a good thing, and I would recommend to do it again, really. So guys, I don't know if you have questions. Papa, I'm really sorry, I'm dying. Like, I just couldn't stop coughing. But if you have questions, feel free.
How's your communication with the LCs? You said that you do webinars. Do you also have like direct consulting or?
With the commissions?
Yeah, with the different LCs, with the different VPTMs.
So what I do, during the first semester, I had 3 NSTs with me. Mm-hmm. And I started alone, and it was a bit time consuming to have one-to-ones with all the VPs every month. That is why I decided to have 3 NSTs with me to split the work. But at the end of the day, I was spending more time chasing the NST to make sure that they were having the calls with the VPs. Mm-hmm. There was one that was very, very engaged, but not so much the 2 others. So I decided to just take over the one-to-ones again, because for me, like, I didn't want to sacrifice the experience of my VPs because I was not able to manage my NSTs. So I took over the one-to-ones with the VPs once a month. And besides this, we have a Facebook group and a Facebook chat where I communicate with them. It depends. It used to be on a daily basis. Lately, since I was a little bit more busy, it's at least once a week. And yeah. Does it answer your question?
Yeah. Do you use Slack?
No. Like in the MC team, we do use Slack, but like in France, like for example, I try to use Trello with them. Mm-hmm. It's not really working. Like we have maybe out of the 21, I have like 3 or 4 who would take the tasks and not so regularly. So I decided, okay, let's move on. This is not working so well. In France, people are not using WhatsApp that much either. If you want like chat, Messenger is better. And now regarding Slack, I know that some teams try, but applications in France is not that easy to implement because they're really accustomed to Facebook. Emails could be a possibility. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can try, right? But for sure, like a bit reluctant when it comes to new applications for team management or communication channels. Do you guys have other questions?
I think Giovanna is just typing then if she doesn't have a microphone. So I just keep asking unless she types something.
Okay.
How do you connect test and performance management? Or do you use any data for performance management besides the personal talks?
You mean to collect the scores from the one-to-ones?
Yes, basically. Okay.
So what I recommended thing is that I don't have anything like specifically defined that they have to use. What I propose them is, because it also depends on all the areas. It's really hard to measure the same way operations and back office. So what I recommended is for performance, if the members achieve more than 80% of their goals, there should be ranked 1, between 50 and 82, and less than 51. And regarding development, this should be based on their personal development plan. Same thing if they achieved more than 80% of their challenges for the months 1 to 3. But I think this is a system that should be reviewed and improved. What do we mean by engagement or development? Is it also taking other positions as NST, FASI, depending on the level of the position of the member? So I did not explore yet all these aspects because I wanted to make it really simple for the first approach, but this is something that has to be improved. Yeah.
Okay. Do you, how do you exactly implement team standards? You say that you track the scores. How would you, like how, if we go to LC level, how would you say that a regular VPTM is implementing the team standards in different teams?
Okay, so I took from the the global output, there was a tracking system for the team standards implementation. So basically you have all the team standards with the frequency when they need to happen. And in the table, you have the name of each team in each LC, and the team leader needs to fill if yes, no, this was done or not, and the TMers need to track if it happened or not.
Are they involved in the execution?
The TM people?
Yeah.
No, like because I have this thing that in some LCs, the TMers are willing to have the one-to-ones with the members, and I tell them that according to me, this should not happen because the ones that work with the team member is the team leader. And imagine in big LCs, like this is impossible that you have like only the team of TM who has one-to-ones with everybody. And also for me, team one-to-ones are a space for the team leader to give feedback to the team members and vice versa. So no. But what I can also recommend is that the TMers can facilitate the team bonding or team building activities so that the team leader is also engaged in the activity. What I recommend is that they have a regular meeting on a bi-weekly basis with the team leaders of the RLC to see how it is going with the implementation of the team standards, if they need further education or tools. And yeah, as simple as that. But I like the thing is that it's more in an education perspective. It's not to see like, okay, how is your relationship with the team member and everything, because I don't want it to get into the personal aspect of the team management, because then for me, if they have an issue like this, the TR should better refer to the VP. To not have this thing of, okay, it's the TM who told me to say that to the member and blah blah blah. It's just on an education and training perspective. Yeah.
One question about recruitment. You said that you had some problems because of the online offline. So you were behind timeline with the recruitment, and if yes, how many members were missing at your goal deadline or whatever?
Okay, so for me, it was supposed to start better earlier. I was expecting the VPs to start the recruitment planning and preparation end of December, beginning of January. Some of them started the second week of January, third week of January, and they were only relying on online, as I was saying, not doing that much offline. And I was expecting to have almost the double of applicants with the online forms, with the push of the offline. So yeah, but like the thing is that it's the first year I'm doing recruitment at the national level. So maybe it should also have been expected that for the second semester, we don't have as many applicants than the first semester. But still, I think we could have done better, especially because when they started to realize that online was not enough, they started to do offline, and we got a lot more applicants. So, yeah. But also at the end, they decreased their recruitment goal. So it's probably because they saw that they could not get also that many applicants. They needed to review their structure and see if it was very necessary to have that many amount of members in their structure. Do you guys have other questions?
I'm pretty good. So.
Good, yeah. Good. Yeah, like as I was saying, really my main challenge this year in talent management was to try to change the mindset about talent management, because even some LCPs, I know there are a few LCPs who still do not really see the relevance of having TM in an LC. They believe that the VPs or the TL can simply do the work of TM. And even for some VPs, I studied the term, they had no clue about team standards. They never heard about team standards before. For them, induction, it was just like partying for a weekend. Isaac Wade, it was like so yeah, there was a lot of work to do. I think that it's starting to get better. Of course, it's a long-term process, but yeah, I believe that it changed a lot this year. I was mainly focusing on creating education materials for the VPs. And, and also a bit more of culture and identity in the commission, because before, like, the VPs were not talking between one another. They had no clue who was the VPTM of other entities. So I think that this is also something that has improved a lot this year, but of course there's so yeah. And also, like, my point, not only to explain them what was the real job description of TM, but also how could TM really impact and boost the operations, because that should be the main thing. And instead of doing like useless stuff in TM, like, it's like just cut what is not necessary and focus on how you can improve the team spirit, the productivity in ULC through very objective tools and be a lot more data driven. Yeah.
Speaking of data, can you share the overview you made, like the HR overview?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, let me open the tool. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so this is the tool I was talking about. So this was education about the matrix. Maybe you're already familiar with this. So basically, once you put the member in, like, let's say, a category, you see then the recommendation on how the member can improve himself to jump to talent pool and then star member. Mm-hmm. Okay, and let's say we take Grenoble. So the database was here. They put all the info contact of the members. And then in the bottom, I have all the analysis, like how many people I have for, so this is total HR. And then according to IXP, RXP, induction, LDA pipeline, how many people I have. And to see, for example, there is a correlation between the fact that I have that many amount of star members and if it's related to the fact that they got inducted, that they went on exchange, or not. And then I have the exit, and they're supposed to say like also the reason why the member decided to quit, so that we know how we can also improve our experience. Here I have the overall scoreboard. So the idea is that the LCs, they put their goals in terms of productive members per function, the productivity rate of the LC of 6Y6P, the retention goal, the goal in IXP, the goal in RXP. And yeah, here I have the overall HR. So I should know exactly how many people I have in my entity and how they're split in terms of function, in terms of position. Yeah, that's what I have. And then here, if I want like specific data, I have all the documents with each position and divided per LC. Okay. Mm-hmm. Regarding the education cycle, so this is how it looks like. So contact, then I have one sheet that is only for basic education that everybody should know. So it's divided with topic, subtopics, why it's important to know. Then the resources, I put in yellow the most important. In tools, what I mean by tools is going to be, for example, templates or a tracking tool, something practical for the members, whereas resources are more theory and education. Okay. And then what is the global learning environment that makes more sense for them to learn about a specific topic? And then I created a timeline when they should know about this topic. And in the bottom, the peaks in terms of outgoing exchange and incoming exchanges, and when we have the conferences. And then, for example, let's take talent management. Is divided with get, develop, and keep, general understanding, internal comm, and I also put the timeline of the team standards implementation for the team leaders. And the test, what is it? Is like Google Forms where the members can assess their level of knowledge about the topic. Okay. If you want to see also the induction tool I created, okay, so here I have the booklets about each phase of the recruitment, the behaviors and rules that they should adopt during the induction. For me, the ideal induction agenda, how they can track the progress of their session. And here I did session outlines for the plenary sessions. And then I asked the MCVPs in my team to create the session outlines for the functional. It's very detailed. Induction team, who they should have, the tools, where they can find the resources for the tools, and checklist preparation. You have question? Is more clear? Because then I realized I should have put the link in the presentation to show you the tools at the moment, but
That's fine.
okay. Okay, Giovanna, do you have any question? Thank you. Do you have maybe specific questions regarding, I don't know, commission management or education or strategy, focus?
I might have one regarding the team leaders, because you said that you put a lot of focus on the team leader education right now, or establishing team leaders in the different LCs. So when I looked into the HR, like the overall number, the LCs were quite small. So how many team leaders do you have, or why do you think you need team leaders right now?
Okay. So of course, like the idea is not to have TL for back office, only for front office. And I created the new strategy with very close with the VP CXY and CXP. So the idea is rather than having big teams to have very small teams to be more efficient. And the idea for CXY is that we have 3 entity partners, and in each local committee, so you have the VP with 3 to 4 team leaders, and each team is focusing on only one entity partner. Okay.
Okay.
So ideally, the structure that we would recommend would be to have 2 to 3 TLs with 2 to 4 members. You see? So since we wanted to grow a lot this semester, the idea was to increase the talent capacity in operations, but to remain focused and to make sure that the members have proper team experience, to have more team leaders also, and to empower them and thus like improve also the pipeline retention rate of the members. For CXP, how it works. So we're starting this thing with farmers and hunters. Are you familiar with this?
Not the name of it.
Okay, so the idea is that we have the farmers that are taking care of the account management of the companies, and the hunters who are doing sales mostly. So the idea is that at the beginning of each semester, everybody's a hunter, so they should all do sales. But once you have sales and once you have a contract with the company, you also need to take care of the company. So step by step, all your hunters become farmer, and you have one person only in the team that remains a hunter. So that would be the ideal structure, would be to have the VP with TLs, and then under each TL you have 3 to 4 members who all start by being hunters and then step by step become farmers. You see. Okay. Other questions? But the thing, like, really is the challenge at the moment is, before going too much into the structure and everything, is really changing the culture and the mindset. Because at the moment, the way that VPs perceive team leaders is that a team leader is a star member. It's someone who does the most operations and who should also track the member. And you heard me, it's tracking. It's not delivering the team standards yet. So the idea is really to achieve this mindset that the team leader should not do, like, his focus is not operation, is the well-being of the team, is the delivery of the team standards, and if needed, do operations, but they should not be his core task. So yeah. All right, that is. I don't know what happened. Like my throat was horrible. I couldn't stop coughing. I was so much in pain, drinking water again and again. But I hope you managed to understand everything. I try not to put that many informations because I really wanted to be focused on the main thing. But of course, if you feel like that this was not enough, feel free to approach me. And yeah. Okay, so I guess I will close the space now. As I was saying, if you need extra information, feel free to text me. And yeah, are you guys interested by chance to attend any other consultancy space today or tomorrow?
I haven't checked the other times yet, so I can't tell you.
Okay.
So
it was just like
maybe.
Okay. All right, guys. So thank you so much for your attention, and I wish you a very nice day.
Same. Have a good one. See ya.
See you. Bye. Ciao, ciao.